Okay, day 14 on this back porch. This is the last wall I have to get to, and I saved it for the last wall because I got to make a door frame and a window frame. So this might be day 15, 16, 17 because it takes me a while to cut all those cuts to make the window frames and the door frames. Okay, I put some, this is actually something I'm trying out. This is Gorilla Tape on the inside. See, because you're supposed to leave the 1/8 inch lines for the wood to expand. But you know, I don't want no air leaks, so I put, this is actually the watertight Gorilla Tape, and then I'm gonna caulk this with silicone in between every joist. But today I'm gonna take off this door. We did buy a door the same size, although it's a more decorative door. So I'm gonna take off all this stuff in here and probably just cut this out. But I wanted to show you what's coming along. Is this is what the outsides originally looked like. It's a helicopter in the sky. I wonder what happened. It's hovering right over there. But it would look worse than this because this actually wasn't exposed to a lot of sunlight. So these were the windows of what it looked like. And this is what it looks like right now. I do got to cut the windows out of it still. And then I'm going to wrap the soffits and everything. But this right here is doing pretty good so far. Blocking it. If you see, I just did the block it with the staples. Because I'm going to do the Pink Panther installation that we're going to put with the little round plastic tips. So for right now, this is the wall that actually got to be torn completely out today, and I already got the wood to put it in tomorrow. So I'm gonna peel this door off and we're gonna go from here. All right, I'm jack of all trades, master at not putting away his tools. This extra door is screwed into the main beam that goes all the way up. It's not on the wall. I put in it all right there. And what I have to do is I got to move it over so I can fit the drywall on this wall right here. So I'm moving it over by 3 inches. And if you can see out here, it's actually screwed into the original main beam is what this door is screwed into. Not supposed to be like that. And also I got to shim the frame because this is kicked back some. And this, so I got to get this frame perfectly square before I put our door in. Alright, so I'm going to take these screws out next because I bet you they're screwed into this, and this was a stud that they actually put on. Our house was broken into before. We had an old 110-year-old door that was kicked in, so the insurance company brought somebody to put this in. Now this door is supposed to fall out frontwards that way, but everything was built up on the back, so it is pretty cool. They built it all up on the back and framed it and decorated it, but now it's time to get the door out. I took the door off already, but this is what you got to look in here for screws. Look in here for screws because I did find one screw back in there. That was probably the first screw they shot to hold the door in place. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to cut this door out with a sawzall, seeing that I got to frame a whole new door anyways. I'm not going to try to be gentle. I'm going to try to save the door. I'm going to cut it off with a sawzall. And what did I tell you? Every time I do a video, somebody starts working close by. Show you when they put the door on, they built it right on the main beam. That's the main beam of the house. And this is what they built the door on. What I'm peeling off right here. But that's where the other door was. It wasn't a four-season porch. It was only like a not even 2 season or 1 season. But now we're completely insulating the whole thing, so we got to reframe this whole door. I got to put shims and a 2x4 on this so this could be straight, so the new door could. Okay, now when they put it in, they had to build up right here. This is actually where they had it screwed in pretty good, and these are the original hinges from the 110-year-old door. And they had to build up over here for the door frame because this is how thin the other door was. So I said I didn't use a sawzall. I just took it apart piece by piece, and it was just a lot easier. Guys actually cut down the beam right here. Look at that, right in there. They cut it down to support the inside of the door jamb where the screws were going to be to lock. They cut all that down right there. Okay, now I brought out the big guns with the construction tip. The door is out already, so my next step is to try to get these windows out, but they're stuck in, they're painted in, they're nailed in, so I'm going to come up here with a sawzall and there with a sawzall to see if I can wiggle this window. When you're cutting stuff that's really that you just need to slice through, make sure you have a construction bit, like a ripping bit, and make sure you have your goggles, because that ripping bit will go right through there like butter. See, now this whole bottom part is loose. The only thing holding this bottom part on is paint now. So So I say to myself, I might actually just keep going up to cut the top of the window loose to see if I can get it loose that way, because that's completely cut off. The paint is the only thing holding that together. And just like that, 3 minutes, and that's cut out with the Sawzall. If 3 minutes, all that's cut straight out right there. So I'm just gonna keep going up and try to get that piece out right there, and that's gonna be the first time I see what's underneath that beam going across. Okay, that was like another 3 minutes. I'm completely open right here. This is just a decorative strip going across the top. It looked like the outside and the inside was all one piece, and then they added this on here. So if a 2x4 fits that, I'm gonna leave that on there. But this is what I gotta get out right here now. This is actually painted and butted up to this right here. See, this is the original piece. So I gotta find out what's gonna be in here and how I'm gonna butt up 2x4 to this. More than likely, I gotta put a 1/2 inch piece of furring all the way up and down this right here, like I did to the other side. So let me keep going here. Up a little bit and get my bearings. Eventually, I'm gonna have to pull these out today. These are all the nails and screws that are stuck into this beam, but demo is the first thing that I'm trying to get done today. So I got to get this window out of here. Now there's nothing on the inside. Well, this is a screw to open it up. I guess if I take this off, it'll swing out, and then I have access to the hinges, because the hinges are actually on the outside, and then I got a security light screwed into there. That wasn't a good thought, but we're replacing those lights anyways. The olden times. It's a mixture of flathead screws and whatever head they had available. Flathead and Phillips screws. So what I may do is just cut those out, but the hardest part is gonna be there's nothing below me for this window. So I may cut these in to pull the window in this way, then it'll be easier for me to get it out. I know this isn't on anything now, so now I know I could cut this out because this is only attached to a decorative strip across the top. So if I cut this, I'd rather cut it in a couple pieces so it's not that heavy. So I'm probably gonna cut one right here and then one down here. I'll be able to swing the window in this way and then cut it out. See, now you do this at your own risk. I kind of know this house a little bit, how it's built, but when you cut it loose and you're able to do this, that means there's no pressure on it. I'm trying to get it from the other angle. That means there's no pressure on it. If you would have cut that and that blade would have got stuck in there or whatever, I'd have stopped right then and there, because I wouldn't have known if there was anything in that. But I don't want to take the whole top strip off yet, so I might take this off piece by piece still, because this is pulling the top piece that I said I didn't want to take off. Okay, moving right along. Saws out all that out. This big lump that was in the corner right here was shotted from the top or something, man. I couldn't get all those out. You see they're all broken off. I used just a pry bar and some time, and that's what I got that off with. I did cut the top of this one already, so this is kind of loose. I gotta cut those two and I should be able to swing it in. I gotta knock this loose right here, and then I should be able to swing this window in some. After I'm gonna cut those loose a little bit more. I'm trying not to break that and take that off as one panel. I left the bottom part on because that's what the ladder was leaning against, and I tell you, I'm afraid of heights, so majority of this wall is probably gonna be framed from inside here until I get some main beams up. Then I'll put the ladder on the outside leaning this way. I got a 26 and a 22 foot ladder, but that's a whole different section. Let's try to get this window out. I bought the vibrating saw. I'm gonna open it as much as I can and try to cut straight back in here and straight back in there with the vibrating saw. Then I'll do this one, and hopefully that's cut through enough where I could kind of finagle it off. All right, so I kind of sawzawed and vibrating saw, and it just broke that one loose. This is the next one, and I already sawzawed part of that, so I'm hoping it holds on enough so I can kind of maneuver. Now you're gonna get to a part where you feel overwhelmed. When you get to that part, just start cleaning everything up you need to clean up. Everything's done. Don't start moving on until you got everything cleaned up. It makes you feel a little bit better. And right now I'm just pulling out all these nails. The guys that put the door in, man, they shot these things in, and they're long as heck. They're like 3-inch brads. So I'm just using a pair of pliers and trying to, well, they're all coming out, but you got to finagle them out with some pliers. Oh, that one broke off. I just said they're all coming out and that one broke off, right? But they are pretty long. Let me see if I can find one. This is how long the dang brads are that they use to shoot the door, and there's like a gazillion of them. So I'm cleaning this main beam up because this is what I'm going to go off of. One of the tricks I'm going to have to come with is, see, I put that 3/8 inch board. I got a little chip of the 3/8 inch board I'm going to put on, and I'm actually going to tack on to that board at the top right there. So I do have to get this board out and smooth this, get all that up there the same as this right here, so I can put that 1/2 inch filler right here and then come off right here. Although that is leaning in, that main beam set for 112 years, so it's not straight, so I actually gonna have to shim the main board to get me straight so my door. Okay peeps, here I am. Everything behind me is completely knocked out. That's my raw frame right there that I'm working with. This right here, I knew it was going to happen. I got to shoot a 1/2 inch piece of plywood just as a filler to even this out for a 2x4. You see, I had to do it on the other side too, all the way up. Just the outside board, and here's the filler strip. So I got to put a filler strip in here. What I am going to do is take the vibrating saw, and I'm going to shave this down all the way smooth with the vibrating saw. Then I'm going to use my level. This is my level right here. And believe it or not, look how level that is. That's actually pretty dang good. Excuse me. That's pretty dang good to shim off of. Look at that. So luckily, these things settled, and they were, actually it's crooked coming this way. So let me see if I put that right there, see how bad that is. That's not bad. Okay, next thing we gotta check is the levelness of this right here. And this is off. You see, that one's gonna have to be shimmed. That's off. That gotta be shimmed from this side, because you need this as level as possible. So that's about 1/2 inch difference that gotta be shimmed. Got the little ones right here, and the little ones are even saying that it's off. But the good thing is, right here, I gotta put a 3/4 inch filler strip, because even though the walls are framed, I'm putting the 3/4 inch board down. A 3/4 inch board, floorboard. This whole floor, this is like a 1.5 inch tongue and groove, and we're gonna put a 3/4 inch floorboard over this, so that door was level on the floor, but now I gotta raise it 3/4 of an inch to start the board. So the good thing is, with that 3/4 inch, I could actually shim under that 3/4 inch, because you see it's got to be lifted to make that easier for the door. So I'm gonna start, that's for the door right there. So I'm gonna start with the walls right here, and then when I start with the walls, when I get to the door, I'll do it. But the good thing for me right now is I could butt it right up to there, and that is actually straight. That's pretty dang straight, or it leaves me within, because around the door I'm leaving 2.5 inches.